Good, my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
is in his retirement marvellous distempered.
With drink, sir?
No, my lord, rather with chlorur.
Your wisdom should show itself more richly to signify this to his doctor, for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into far more choler.
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir, pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer, my wit's diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make you shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother, therefore no more, but to the matter. My mother, you say?
Then thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
O wonderful son, that can so astonish a mother, but is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? Impart.
She desires to speak with you in her closet, ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lord. What is your cause of distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty, if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, but sir, while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Oh, the recorders! Let me see one! To withdraw with you, why do you go about to recover the wind of me, as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if it my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these I cannot command. To any utterance of harmony I have not the skill.
Why, look you now. How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ. Yet cannot you make it speak. Sblood, do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, yet you cannot play upon me.
My lord, the queen would speak with you and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud, almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mass, and it's like a camel indeed.
Methinks it's like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale?
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by. They fool me to the top of my bed. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
So looking over Guildenstern, I kind of see him as the leader between the two. Like in his speeches, he seems to be the one more talking, and so he has to come off confident when I play him, and it has to be an emphasis on words that make it seem like he's on Hamlet's side, when really he has complete loyalty to the king. And so when he's speaking to Hamlet, he has to be friendly so that Hamlet thinks um, they're really his friends and they care about him. So, but they also have to be kind of serious and not too revealing, because they also can't show their fear of Hamlet when Hamlet is talking about how they're only here to spy for the king. So he can't sound too defensive. So it has to work on kind of the tone of voice that I'm going to be projecting for Guildenstern. And it's basically so that Hamlet thinks that they're there for him and they're pretending to be good friends when really they're just there for the king.
Okay, so the scene I'm performing is right after Hamlet discovers that Claudius did kill his father and is truly guilty. Also, during this part, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are telling Hamlet that his mother wants to see him to talk about what he did. So what effects I need, I want to portray Hamlet as a very stern son that will actually have vengeance for his father. Because when the ghost first told Hamlet about Claudius and how he did kill his father, Hamlet did have a soliloquy, and he expressed how he might commit suicide and how he wasn't too sure of how to avenge his father's death. I saw that as he was being kind of weak and hesitant, so in this scene I want to make sure he's not those things and that people know he's very serious about having revenge for his father. What motions or other cues? During this scene I'll probably have a lot of hand movements to express my anger and frustration with finding out the truth about Claudius. I'll have to express my emotions very thoroughly to get through to the audience how shocked and bewildered I am that my mother would marry such a man that would kill my own father. Tone of voice will be very stern and serious, like I mentioned before, because I don't want Hamlet to seem as hesitant or weak in any way. I want him to actually fight for his father. There will be emphasis on particular words where he's talking to Polonius, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and he does have a somewhat sarcastic approach that I plan on kind of delivering in some of his responses. There's a few challenges. One of them is that I am a female, so it'll be hard to act like Hamlet since he is a male, and I cannot get the same effect as it would be if I were a guy. It would be easier, but I will try to my best ability to portray Hamlet as how I imagined.
It's funny.
For our Hamlet speech project, I am portraying two characters, Polonius and Rosencrantz. Because Rosencrantz has more of an impact on this part of the play, I'll be focusing mainly on him more than Polonius. We are doing a scene from Act 3, Scene 2. Before my character enters the stage, Hamlet is lecturing the characters on how to act the parts they were given for the play. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern arrive in the scene to inform Hamlet that his mother wants him. Rosencrantz is trying to get Hamlet into seeing his mother along with Guildenstern. Hamlet appears to be angry that the two are bothering him, but Rosencrantz is able to stay calm. It may be difficult for me because I am playing two characters, Polonius and Rosencrantz, and I start off as Rosencrantz initially, and it may be hard because at one point I will be in the mood and tone to play Rosencrantz, and it might be difficult for me to transfer moods. With this being said, I will be using a calm tone of voice to portray Rosencrantz.
So, the part that we're doing is I'm Guildenstern when Hamlet is talking to Guildenstern and Rosencrantz. And after getting feedback, I definitely need to focus on projecting more, not smiling or giggling. I need to be a little more serious when playing this part. And I also need to practice the lines more so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. And so the lines come out more clearly, not like mumbled, like when words are misplaced because we're not used to them. I need to work on the type of language they use, and definitely need to speak a little louder so people can hear me. And I need more expression, I think, in the voice at certain parts, like the change in tone when different events are happening, so it sounds like it's a clear conversation, so it flows more naturally than I had practiced it. So mostly just practicing to memorize the lines more.
So some feedback I received from our first part of the video was that it was a bit difficult to see because it was the front camera, so the quality was a little lower. And we tend to look at the camera rather than each other when we're speaking. So in the second scene, I tried to actually look at who I was speaking to, so there wasn't a confusion as to who was saying what to who, and so the audience could easily follow along. Some people also said that I need to express more emotion and kind of pronunciate certain words with more emphasis, so it's easier to understand how Hamlet felt at the time. So I tried to improve on those things, and I think in the second part of the act, I think I did a better job at portraying Hamlet.
When we received feedback and responses from our peers about our video, they noted different things for us to work on. Initially, the biggest thing that our group needed to work on was clarity of our voices. We received information back from many of our different peers informing us that it was hard to hear us when we spoke at different times. As well as speaking louder, we were also told to speak clearer and emphasize our words, pronouncing them better. When we went back to edit our video, we worked on enunciating our words better for the sake of it. We were also told that we did not look very enthused when we were performing our scene, so we made note to work on emphasis of our expressions and emotions in the scene and our video.